Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Amanda, and in this video we are having a little look at why it's important to focus on the discipline when we are manifesting rather than the outcome. So when we are manifesting for particular outcomes in our reality, the outcome is essentially already created and it exists right now in this present moment. And when we are manifesting it, the discipline to continue to keep our mindset in a particular way and focus on this new identity and new person that we are is what inevitably cultivates the image and the reality of it in our 3D world. So when we are manifesting for particular outcomes, it is not so much the outcome that we want to be focusing on. So I know when we are manifesting, and I do this myself too, when we over focus on the outcome rather than the discipline of knowing and believing and trusting that this is the way that it is. So the discipline comes into the daily practices that we incorporate into our reality to be this new person. So if we are manifesting €1 million, or if we're manifesting new relationships, or we're manifesting anything that we are manifesting in a reality, rather than continuing to focus on the outcome of it, it's the discipline on the daily practices and the redirection of our mindset into the person that actually has this outcome already. So if I am someone who is already a millionaire, well, then I'm a millionaire. I'm not focusing on manifesting €1 million, if that makes sense. I am incorporating daily habits into my day, and I'm keeping my mindset on the expansion of wealth and abundance and what it means to be a millionaire. Because when we are, we can continue just to tell ourselves all day, every day, that I have €1 million, I have €1 million, I have €1 million. I mean, these things are uh, they're proven to work as well too. But when we want to maintain and sustain a reality where we are a millionaire mindset is a money mindset, meaning that it's more expansive than just having €1 million. It's more expansive than just telling myself I have €1 million. Abundance is everywhere when you have an abundant mindset. It's your cup of coffee in the morning, it's your roof over your head, it's your bills paid, it's the positive optimistic outlook that you have on wealth coming from lots of unexpected places and expected places. It's the person that you are developing yourself with this discipline on the process of continuing to be a millionaire and how you maintain and sustain it in your reality. So I know that when we are continuing to focus on the outcome of what it is that we are manifesting, this is essentially keeping our mind on what it is that we want. But we want to take a step back and understand that when we are desiring anything in our life, there's a little level of discipline to what it is that we want. And the discipline comes into our mindset and how we are developing ourselves in a way that is embodying this person who has what it is that we want now. So I'm actually going to use a little example here of something that happened to me in my past a couple of years ago before I actually came into the law of assumption. Was a certificate that I was studying, a particular skill that I needed a certificate for. So I was coming to the end of the certificate, and it was the completion of the whole certificate, meaning that I had done the first semester and this was the second semester, and it was just a year studying. So it meant that this was the final exams. So I was doing okay up until I got to the second semester. And then I got to the second semester, and a big, massive circumstance hit me mentally, emotionally, and physically. And I literally felt like I was not going to be able to complete this. I had it in my mind that I was too far gone in my mindset, in the way that I was feeling at the time. It was all over my body, anxiety, heartbreak mentality. And I had done so well up until that point that I was actually giving up, and I was like, no, I just don't have, I didn't have the motivation. I didn't care. I was like, I can't do this. I'm going to email the lecturer and tell them that I'm not able to finish for circumstances or whatever. And it turned out that my mom actually was the one who supported me then in this, because she stopped me from doing that at the time when I literally felt like I couldn't even speak. I was in that bad a shape, if I have to say. Like, so she was like, you can't not do this. You have, like, I think it was one or two assignments left to do, and but there was so much kind of pressure on these assignments, and one of them was actually one that I wasn't even particularly all in at the first stage. I was better at other kind of modules, but this particular one, I was just feeling that I just wouldn't have the mentality to do it. But she supported me, and she said, look, if you just stay up later at night and you just get something done, and rather than emailing the lecturer and just giving it all up now just for this circumstance that came up. And with that, then I kind of listened to what she said, and I did that. Now, what happened was I ended up completing the certificate and didn't get the results then, and I think it was a couple of months later when you get your results, and it turned out that I had passed the certificate, which was great. But that particular module that I got was for me, in all of my studying, in the degree that I did and everything, the lowest mark that I had ever gotten in my entire life. And I would be somebody who would always be striving to get a good enough mark, even if it wasn't perfection, as long as it was high enough for me to think that I got a good enough mark for what I did. And this was literally, it was the lowest mark, and I had literally just passed the module. I mean, I'd say the lecturer just was trying to find ways to pass me on that module. That's how low the mark was, but they did pass me, which was great. But when I look at that certificate now, I never think about that low mark. I'm just using it as an example now. I just think that I got the outcome that I wanted. I got the desire that I wanted. I wanted that certificate because it meant that it was opening more doors for opportunities and things like that for what it was that I wanted to do. And I don't even care about that result. And even if I had gotten that result a few years ago, before that, when I was doing my degree in that, I probably would have been dwelling on that result more so than actually getting the degree, because that was the type of person that I kind of was. But when I got that outcome of just getting their certificate, and even now, this is what I'm saying, it's not about, like, we get the outcome, we'll always get the outcome that we desire, because it's already created for us. If we desire it, that means we're going to achieve it. But it's how we get there, and it's how we discipline ourselves to get there. So I did have that circumstance, which actually was a circumstance that I actually ended up, I went to therapy for a little bit afterwards as well too. I'm just being honest here. And it was just a circumstance that kind of triggered me a lot. And I was giving up on it, but thank God then my lovely mom supported me through it. And I am more thankful that I finished it rather than, and getting the certificate, rather than the mark, if you understand what I'm saying, because it's never about what happens along the way. The discipline is what it keeps us going, and when we get that desired outcome, we never think about all of the, as I say, like, I don't really care about that mark, even though it was one of the lowest marks I ever got, but it passed and that was fine. But I'm just delighted that I actually completed it and I got the certificate, because I was going to give it up. And it's the same thing when we are manifesting for whatever desire that we are creating. Know that you will always get there. Just don't give up. Understand that it's the discipline that makes us all into whatever it is that we are desiring to embody, and to the outcome that we are desiring to experience. So I just thought I would share that little story there for anyone that it might motivate, to understand that no matter what is happening along the way, you will always get there. Just don't give up on yourself. Just don't give up. Thank you.